Hi, this is Pat Moorhead, and we are in Las Vegas at Dell Tech World 2023. The 6.5 is on the road. We're having fun. Lots of excitement out there. Lots of product announcements. I love product announcements, Daniel.
Well, let's just say the tech cycle is in full effect. We're moving and shaking. We've been here in Las Vegas 3 days at the beautiful Mandalay Bay.
Right.
We're having conversations about things that you and I know that Dell needs to be talking about, and that's everything from shifting their business to consumption to multi-cloud. And I think there was a peppering of AI in there somewhere.
Right.
But it's been a really great week, and you know what is always great is getting the executives and leaders on our show here on the 6.5 to talk about it.
It is. With that said, let's introduce Sam Grocott. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Great having dinner last night. Great seeing all the big news that's going out there. I mean, Apex, my favorite topic, multi-cloud, and of course, no conversation the past 3 months would be complete without talking AI.
A little bit in there, yeah. I think we did a little bit more than peppering it in there. I think it's a little more significant, but we'll get to that.
I think if anyone knows me out there, you know that there was a hint of snarkasm in that comment because, you know, as we know, we had dinner as you suggested. Right. So when this show goes really well, everyone's going to now know that we sort of preambled pretty heavily on this one.
Well, some people have green room and some people have a dinner that serves as the green room.
Well, the important thing is that, you know, we're having those big stage conversations, we're having these kinds of social conversations, and we're having those private analyst to executive conversations that really help us understand, and then we can become great purveyors of the story to the market. But Sam, you know, you lead a big swath of the marketing function here at Dell. And so these kind of events, you have to be lighting up a little bit. I guess let's just start broadly, like of all the announcements, kind of what has you really excited at this year's Dell Technologies World?
Yeah, look, and the payload was massive this year. and honestly, this is the most innovative Dell Tech World we've ever had. We've never had so many great new offers. You know, one personally close to me that I'm most proud about is all the Apex and multi-cloud news. 2.5 years ago, I was employee number 1 of Apex at Dell. I've been on this journey since the very, very beginning, and to see the progress we've made in the now 2 years since we announced the Apex brand to today, I couldn't be more proud of what we've accomplished in the announcements and the payload we've been able to deliver across the board. So very, very pleased with that.
So there was a payload of news, but is there something that was really special aside from the news, kind of your favorite part of Dell Tech World, whether it was getting a special customer up on stage, a demo that actually worked that you didn't know if it was going to work?
They always work.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So if I had to put, besides dinner with you guys last night, second only to that, I was really, really thrilled with having a group of industry leaders, industry titans join us for this event, which is not easy to, as you can imagine, coordinate. You know, having the CEOs of Microsoft and Red Hat, NVIDIA, really support our launches is something that isn't for the faint of heart, to say the least, but I'm extremely proud of how it all came together and how all of our teams partnered to deliver what we've promised to our customers and partners, that we want to be at the center of the multi-cloud universe. That requires a large ecosystem.
Right.
So whether we're doing it with multi-cloud or generative AI or with the zero trust news we announced as well, we've got a great group of partners that are helping us deliver our customer needs. So very, very excited about that.
Like that.
How's the pedometer? You getting some steps?
I've gotten a few steps in, yes, but I'm countering that with my food consumption. So
that definitely occurred to me at dinner last night. I don't think there's enough walking for the amount of eating I'm doing, but I digress. You mentioned earlier, Sam, multi-cloud being really exciting, Apex being really exciting. You know, give us a little bit more there. Let's talk a little bit more about how that's expanding. You know, I think both Pat and I have been positive about the direction, but we've also challenged you to expand the product portfolio, get these announcements into market, give the customer a set of tools that really enable you to compete in instances for that cloud consumption opportunity. As we know, hybrid and multi is the long-term answer, but where we partner can be on this continuum of hyperscale to very on-prem partnerships. it seems that you've kind of hit an inflection that could be very positive.
Absolutely. So we now feel strongly that we have the world's most comprehensive as-a-service and multi-cloud portfolio. It spans everything from now client devices with our introduction of Apex PC as a service, all the way out to cloud-native software running in your public cloud of choice, and everything in between. So whether it's storage as a service or now compute, which is new that we announced this week as well as a service. We've got our HCI, our new cloud platforms introduced as well. If you look at the breadth and depth of our as a service portfolio, it really showcases that we delivered on our promise just 2 years ago that we were going to bring this across the entire Dell portfolio, and we've largely done that now. And look, I think if I reflect back on our customers and our partners' feedback, you know, it's one thing to have innovative individual piece parts to go to market with. Apex Storage as a Service was our first launch. But without being able to combine that with the rest of the stack, compute for example, it left our customers feeling a bit incomplete. They wanted to be able to, you know, do backup as a service, storage as a service, compute as a service. We've now been able to deliver those piece parts together into one integrated solution that you can subscribe to it all. You can manage it yourself, Dell can manage it, our partners can manage it. So we've really moved and evolved Apex since the beginning to give ultimate choice to our customers and our partners on how they want to consume this technology. And look, I think it's been a great week for our customers. It's been a great week for our partners. It's been a very bad week for competition. So I'm excited.
I love it.
Well, it is going to be interesting. You did go first, and Dan and I are both, you know, going to your prime competitor shows that are after this. So
I guess we get to be the judge of that, right?
No, I know.
Ultimately,
exactly.
Judge, jury, and executioner, but it does help that you feel good.
I like the hand we've got right now.
Yeah. So multi-cloud makes sense, and I did appreciate kind of you adding the moniker hybrid cloud. Was it hybrid cloud from the start?
Yes, yeah. So you know, while we look at the multi-cloud world and the multi-cloud universe,
hybrid cloud by design.
By design,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, by design.
Well, multi-cloud by design, yeah. So when we look at the multi-cloud universe, we consider multi-cloud, yes, multiple public clouds, but also inclusive of your edge clouds, your telco clouds, your on-prem private clouds, and then the ability to move from any of those locations into the public cloud gives you that hybrid capability. So we have I think, Danny, we've talked about this, kind of a little bit of a unique perspective on how we define multi-cloud.
Right.
We think it reflects our customers and our partners' life, you know, whether it's a public cloud or an edge cloud or a telco cloud, that's multiple clouds.
Well, it reflects reality. I mean, I think aside from, I don't know, the biggest deniers out there, Fortune 500 companies have multiple IaaS providers.
Right.
And what they're doing is they're laying across the multiple DevSecOps app X teams across every cloud. It's kind of like the old days of having a separate team for a mainframe or a mini computer or a client server. It's completely different. And from a historical perspective, this is just the way tech is, where, oh, hey, it's great, we have all these choices, okay, and then complexity comes in and rears its ugly head, and they want simplification. So I like the way that you're approaching the hybrid multi-cloud. I'm also not confused, it's a journey. I mean, the public cloud is 19 years old, okay?
I can't believe that, but yes, that's true.
And I also know that enterprises are conservative, and they're not going to go all in on a V1. Okay, you'll have some beta customers that go in and give you some great feedback, but as it moves forward in the maturity, it's an inevitability that this is how it's going to end up. So I like the approach, not just because I'm sitting at your show here next to you.
I'm glad you do. And also, like, we had CVS present during our day one keynote where we announced all of this. He had a really great conversation with Chuck Whitten about just why they've had to, but via necessity, move to a much more simplified multi-cloud by design versus by default. Their CIO was on stage talking about just all the different groups and ways that they were doing cloud differently. And it became just an insurmountable amount of complexity. They wanted something far simpler. And the one piece that they really attracted them to our strategy was the fact that we've got this, what we call the Apex Navigator. And think of that as the traffic control of all data moving on-prem to off-prem.
Right.
And one of the many benefits of that is it gives our customers a consistent operating experience. When you talk about simplicity, the fact that the same Dell storage experience you love on-prem,
right.
when you move that data to AWS or Azure, wherever it might be, you're operating in that same experience. There's no need to learn different tools, different management experiences, hire different skills. So it's not only easier, it's also more cost effective because you can be more efficient in how you manage it, and the learning curve is very, very low.
Right.
So let's wrap up here. Talk a little bit about your job and how it's changing.
Yes.
Should we give him a performance appraisal?
I think so.
I
Look,
think
as employee number one, how'd I do? I mean,
we don't do 360s, Pat. We don't do 360s. Nobody gets to review us. No, I'm kidding. The ultimate, topic that's been going on here, Sam, is you of course can embed AI in a lot of your solutions.
Yeah.
But as the leading, one of the leaders in the marketing function, we can write blogs, we can do SEO, we can create tweets, you can extract the most important points out of research. We had a great chat yesterday with you and Allison Du, your CMO, and this became a topic. And it was funny, we were in a room and there was literally probably almost two schools. There was the school that was like, oh, wait.
Yep.
And of course, if I was an analyst or an influencer or a marketer and wasn't fully bought into that, I'd be like, slow that stuff down.
Right.
And then there's the other side of the room that's like, I think you said it, maybe it's writing 50% of the blog now, but by next year it's going to be writing 90%.
Absolutely,
talk a little bit about the trends that you're focused on in marketing, how it's going to change the way you take Dell's products, services, and corporation to market.
Yeah, look, there's nothing as big of this technological shift that we've seen in my now 23 years that I've been in the technology industry. I was right at the early days of the internet coming in the late 90s, and then certainly when it got mass utilization, obviously the smartphone, that was amazing. I think this is bigger than all of them. But I also tell you, I am super passionate about it. My team is moving as quickly as possible to embrace this new technology and how they do work. It is a foundational first step in building any piece of content. My team creates an enormous amount of content.
Right.
And it's your first step. It gets the process going, and while it might give you a decent starting point or first draft today, by the end of this year, maybe a year from now, it's going to get you 80% of the way there. So it's going to just continue to get far more superior. We've got to do it the right way, though. We've got to make sure we sprinkle in, our differentiation. What makes our solutions different than others. Obviously, the generative AI models will not know that inherently. So we're spending a lot of time of making sure that they reflect our differentiated value proposition as we leverage them. But I do, as a content producer, worry a bit about, it's not just our organization, it's going to go 10x faster at, half the cost and half the efficiency or more efficiency. The whole industry is going to. You guys are going to, my competitors are going to. It's a, the tsunami of content that we already live in today that's only going to accelerate.
Right.
So I think one of the biggest challenges for us as marketers is how do we cut through that in the future and not just suffocate our consumers more so than they already are today. Right. That's going to be tricky, and anybody that tells you they've solved that doesn't know what they're talking about. So I think a real honest, eyes wide open approach. We are where we are. It's changing daily. It's one of the funnest new pieces of technology to play around with every day. I'm enjoying it personally myself, but it's going to be a wild ride. And Dell's perspective and my team's perspective is we're going to lean in and go fast and learn along the way. So,
Sam, I really appreciate you coming on the 6.5.
Yeah, it's
spending
fun.
time here. You have a lot of activities going on, and it's funny. I've launched a ton of products in my history, and you take 24 hours, pat your team on the back, maybe pat yourself on the back, gets pat, and then it's on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm looking forward to are customer stories. How, while I think you are spot on strategically, I want to hear your customers say that they like your approach. I want to hear more stories about that, and obviously with your beta customers, like CVS, let's say, more stories about how they're internalizing it, and what you're learning. So we'd love to have you back on the show.
Anytime. I'd love to. And I'll
Thanks.
bring a customer next time too.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
Sam. Yeah, let's do that. So thanks a lot. All right, everybody. You heard it here. Sam Grocott. This is 6.5 on the road at Dell Technologies World 2023 for Patrick and myself. Stay with us. Hit that subscribe button. Watch all the videos that we did here. And, of course, all the other videos we do because we have a lot of fun here on the show. But we got to say goodbye for now. We'll see you later.